Okay, so this is part two of how do you get rid of blackberries in the Pacific Northwest and Oregon and Washington. So I left off on one of the pesticides, I guess it would be an herbicide, is using crossbow. And crossbow is a foliar that you would spray on the blackberries and it sinks into those rhizomes. Blackberries, they use photosynthesis to get their energy through the leaves. And so when you're spraying the crossbow, it absorbs them through those leaves. But because we have so much wildlife, we've got deer that eat the blackberry leaves, we've got bugs, we've got birds that eat those bugs, and it creates a chain reaction. And so I try my very hardest to do organic gardening, and I would prefer not to use any pesticides or herbicides. If I'm using any type of spray for foliars, like on my apple orchard, I use something called neem oil, which is like an organic. It's a bitter tasting thing that bugs don't really like, but it's very natural. It's not like spraying what you're buying at the grocery store. Now, as I was doing my research, I came across this other herbicide, and it was called a bonide stump and vine killer. And so what you do is you cut the blackberry down all the way down to the rhizome, and then you take this bonide stump and vine killer and you brush it on to the blackberry vine, and that tackles the rhizome without doing a huge foliar spray. I've been contemplating about maybe picking up a bottle of that and just testing it out on just a very small patch and seeing how effective it is. So what am I doing? I am taking the hedge saw and I am cutting it down as far as I can, and I'm trying to starve the photosynthesis process before spring starts, before those blackberries start waking up again. Now, if you live on a smaller property and you have a smaller backyard, you can dig up the blackberry root balls, but for my purposes, it's just not possible. Like, this is all the blackberries that we're dealing with right now. And like, the only way that I could dig up those root balls is if I were to like rototill the soil or like do some type of really big digging. And if I were to do something like that, it would possibly, well, one, it would make the ground and the earth fertile for new blackberries to grow, but it could also disrupt any seeds and wake those up and then start a whole new, stronger blackberry patch. So I'm going to try and starve them out as my method. Oh, and goats, you can have goats to eat them.